This is the Midway region, a Pokemon region based on the Midwest.
And we finally made it to the rock type video. And I've been waiting so long to show you about my rocks and crystals. And these actually are my rocks and crystals.
In the Midway region, the rock types are all very unique from one another. So let's see what you can find. Stay tuned to the end to find out which rock type gets an urban and rural form. In the caves found throughout Midway, you can find a particular rock type unique to the Midway region. This is Lucet, a pure rock type. Lucet move around the caves, mapping out their environment with the crystal on their head. They send out different types of energy waves, like sonar, to define the caves that they live in, and use the same waves to communicate with one another. Lucet only have one eye, but after a really long time, might grow a second one. If you train your Lucet, it will be able to evolve. This is Luceton, a rock and psychic type. Luceton has 3 crystal spires on its head, as well as a Lucet growing on it, supposedly giving it 2 brains, which is why scientists think it has gained the psychic typing. They use their 3 spires to navigate, as well as move things around with telekinesis. Lucet and Luceton aren't it though. If you can find yourself a moonstone and give it to Luceton, it will evolve. This is Lucetadio, a rock and psychic type. Lucetadio have a Luceton and a Lucet growing on them, which supposedly gives them 3 separate brains. Lucetadio can access all forms of energy waves, and will even try to communicate with radio waves through speakers.
Lucet, Luceton, and Lucetadio are all based on amethyst and agates, as you can see here. This being amethyst, and this being agate. As you can see the banding, sort of, on this blue lace agate. And here's quartz.
If you want to learn more about Lucet, Luceton, and Lucetadio, go check out the video on psychic types found in the Midway by Type playlist. In the waterways and public spaces of Midway, you can find the Pokemon known as Flintration. Flintration is a poison and rock type, and unfortunately has a bit of a bad rap. Long ago, Flintration were consistently prosecuted for turning clean drinking water into a toxic sludge. However, after some time passed, it was discovered that Flintration will actually turn toxic sludge and sewage into clean drinking water. This has changed people's view on Flintration. Because of this change, Flintration has grown alongside humans, and with high friendship, it will evolve. This is Cyantoxin, a poison and rock type. Cyantoxin now help humans discover the mysteries of the world, and will still provide people with clean drinking water. I implore you to go check out my video on poison types, as I go into much more detail about these 2 over there, and more, so go watch that, after this video of course. Flintration is based on E. coli, and Cyantoxin is based on scientists, but they're also based on Milorganite, a fertilizer made in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Flintration itself isn't really based on a particular rock, but it does look somewhat similar to this piece of petrified wood, as well as this agate.
Without leaving the waterways behind, there is another rock type to find. This is Garrowhead, a water and rock type. Garrowhead will chase down their opponents with so much vigor that they don't even realize that they are exhausted. The sharp teeth of Garrowhead will crush through even tough shells, but will break at some point, however they grow back. Garrowhead are based on gar, a type of fish known for sharp teeth, and of course, arrowheads.
Obsidian is a very sharp rock, and because of this, Native Americans and people all over the world use them for tools and weapons. Just like this arrowhead.
Take this time between Pokemon to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want more Midway. It means a lot to me and the Pokemon of Midway. As per usual, I have a character I would like to introduce. This is Emery Rock Rolled. He has a band that he and his friends play in, and will have their shows in their garage. Other than a rocker, he's also Midway's very own Rock-type gym leader. If you manage to find M outside of his shows/practice, you will have a classic one-on-one gym battle. But if you find him when he is rocking in his garage, you will have a unique battle experience. Let's take a look. The battle begins, and of course, this is a double battle. Sort of. The battle itself is a 2v2, but the other members throw out their Pokemon. You might be thinking, this is super unfair, a 5v2? But that isn't the case, as the band members' Pokemon won't attack your Pokemon. But they will help N's. Throughout the battle, the team members will be using other moves to help boost N's Pokemon. You can choose to attack the band members' Pokemon, but doing this will leave your Pokemon open to attacks from M. During the battle, all sound-based moves will do double damage. Do you think you could defeat M and the band?
If you manage to defeat Emery in battle, he will reward you with the Rocker Badge and make you one step closer to the Pokemon League. Liking this video and subscribing to this channel will also make you one step closer to the Pokemon League. Many of you have noticed Emery's government name, Emery Rock Rolled, which on its own sounds like rock and roll. But if you take out the middle name and use Emery's nickname, M, you get M Rolled, otherwise known as Emerald.
There was a couple of Pokemon you saw in the battle with M that I'm sure you're interested in seeing, so let's check it out. This is Rockin' Yodi, a rock and electric type. Rockin' Yodi will gather late at night and party it up. If you're ever out late at night and hear a group of Rockin' Yodi yipping and yapping, it's best not to bother them, as they get their energy from partying. Having a Rockin' Yodi will require you to party on a regular basis, so you can keep them happy. Rockin' Yodi actually originated in the turning sports teams in the Pokemon video, but it has changed a lot since then, since it has the electric typing now.
There really isn't any particular rock that Rockin' Yodi is based on, but here's a cool fossil tooth that I have, as well as a spire of smoky quartz.
Alright, let's see who's next. This is Petrolith, a rock and flying type. Petrolith are an ancient Pokemon that has always been found in the Midway region, but to this very day, scientists still do not know where they originate. There are tons of cave paintings that resemble Petrolith, but they also resemble other birds. If it isn't obvious, Petrolith is a convergent form for Sigilith. Sigilith is based on the Nazca lines in Peru, but Petrolith is based on petroglyphs, but more specifically the ones found in the Midwest, like at Rochea Cree National Park, which I've actually seen in person. Alright, I've got one more Pokemon to show you before I talk about which rock type gets access to the urban and rural forms. This is Charcadet, a fire type. In the Paldea region, you can find the Auspicious Armor and the Malicious Armor, and those will evolve Charcadet into either Armarouge or Ceruledge respectively. However, in the Midway region, you can find the Judicious Armor and the Pernicious Armor. Giving the Pernicious Armor to a Charcadet will make it evolve. This is Demomonix, a fire and rock type. Demomonix use their scythe-like appendages to cut through their opponents. They seek to destroy the foundation of this world, as the original owner of this armor was said to come from the underworld. If you want to know what happens to Charcadet when given the Judicious Armor, you should check out the video on fire types, found in the Midway by Type playlist.
Demomonix comes from Demomond and Onyx, a type of crystal, which I have here, but it isn't much to look at.
Like I had promised, there is a rock type found in the Midway region that can gain access to both urban and rural forms. This is Roly-Coly, a rock type, and actually not uncommon in the Midway region, mostly found up north. If you bring Roly-Coly to Grand Overlook in the Rural Zone, it will be able to change. This is Rural Roly-Coly, a rock and ghost type. This form of Roly-Coly has taken on the energy from the lost souls that need transportation to the next world. If you've ever broken down on an old country road and you see what looks like ghostly headlights, it might just be a rural Roly-Coly. If you bring Roly-Coly to Ribbon Highway in the urban zone, it will be able to change. This is Urban Roly-Coly, a rock and bug type. This form of Roly-Coly loved to speed around on the different highways and streets in the urban zone. It is like an unspoken tradition among the youth to be the first one to punch another when you see an Urban Roly-Coly. That's it for today. We are really close to finishing our type journey through Midway, as the only type left is Dragon. Then I have a bunch planned, but as for now, make sure to like and subscribe for more Midway, and keep those running shoes on, trainers.